Hey folks, Starfgoogles here, and welcome back to Turn 5 of our Let's Play Labyrinth, The War on Terror, a solo game. So we have already dealt the hand of cards. I think I've said card of hands a couple of times in the past few videos. And we are ready to go with the jihadists' first two cards. So the first play is going to be Kashmir. This is a playable non-US event. So the event will happen, and that will be it, because this is a jihadist card. So the event is shift Pakistan one box towards adversary. So they become neutral, because it's one box towards that. And then place a cell there. And then that's the card is discarded. Pretty fast, huh? So, boom, there's a cell in Pakistan. Okay, the next card is going to be Uyghur Jihad. I know the Uyghurs are a minority in, East Turkmenistan. I thought they were also a minority in China. I could be mistaken about that. Which is next to Okay, so anyway, we'll do the event. Test China. Oh, China has not yet been tested, so we will test that. So it is going to be a poor country. Okay. Place a cell in Central Asia if China hard. In China if soft. Okay, so China is soft, so a cell will be placed in China. Okay, and that is the end of that card. So that guy is gone. Discard 2 out of play. And now it is our turn with our 2 ops. This is a nice hand. Modern Operation is a bit scary to see, but we could possibly win the game with this hand. And we are going to do just that. Okay. So, yeah, let's try our luck here. We are going to play... we're going to play Bin Laden, which is the neutral card. So it doesn't affect our opponent, even though the way it works is like if the US plays this and they meet some crazy criteria, like if there's no Islamist rule countries, Fatah isn't the fact that there's no Al-Anbar, but there is Al-Anbar, then they can basically capture him and gain a bunch of prestige and ding the jihadist funding a bit. But typically the jihadists play it and the US loses a lot of prestige. This is a card you don't want to see on the first turn of play. But we're going to play this. We're going to use the 3 ops to do a war of ideas in Indonesia. And so we're going to go ahead and roll a die, and we get a 4. So looking at all of our modifiers, we have 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 1 for an adjacent good country, that's 7, minus 1 for the final push, that's 6. That is enough to improve the governance to good. Now, key thing to note here is that even though Pakistan was a neutral country, it doesn't matter. You just have to have a good country. Also, for the purposes of resources, you don't care if the country is ally, neutral, or adversary. You only care that their government is good. You don't care if their democracy hates your guts. You just care that they have a democracy to speak of. So, for the purposes of this resource victory, we still have Pakistan's 2 resources there. Now, you can do a war of ideas in Pakistan to get them back to ally. And getting them to be an ally is good because that means you can send troops there. But for the most part, we don't have to worry about that too much. So we are 1 resource away from winning, and we are going to attempt to convert Jordan to good governance, and that would essentially win us the game. We need a 2 ops card for that. I'm going to spend UN nation building to do that. And we're going to target Jordan, and we're going to do a roll of war of ideas. Ugh, we got a 2. Okay, that might not be enough. Let's do the math here. So we have 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 1 for adjacent good country is 5, minus 1 for the final push is only 4. So that's not enough. That does place an aid marker, though, which will make our next attempt easier. But, yeah, we're not quite there yet. So we'll have to contend with another round of jihadist cards. Oh, well. Can't have everything be easy, can we? Okay, so it's up next to the jihadists. They have 3... so their card is going to be the Patriot Act. And this is a playable playable U.S. event, which means that they are going to be plotting with this card because this event has no pretext conditions. It basically is playable. So they're going to plot with 3 ops. Okay, so we're going to plot, and we're going to consult our plot chart. Okay, so as much as possible in the U.S., no. Prestige low, nope. Prestige is pretty high. Abu Sayyaf is not in effect because we had those little Moro talks happen. In country of troops, nope, there are no cells in country of troops. And then, is the GWOT penalty greater than 0? No, it is 0. So they're going to plot in countries that are hard. Okay, so there are a total of 4 possibilities in here. There's Spain, Eastern Europe, Caucasus, and Israel. And again, because this is a plotting operation, it's going to happen in fair countries first, then in good. So the Caucasus is going to be targeted by that first, and then we will have plots possibly among these three. I'm not going to weigh the fact that Israel has 2 cells there anymore. I'm going to roll a one. I'm going to roll a single die, and then a 1 to 2 will be in Spain, a 3 to 4 will be Eastern Europe, and a 5 to 6 will be Israel. So let's go and roll. It's going to be Eastern Europe. So we're going to go ahead and roll 2 die. The first one will be for Eastern Europe, and the second one for the Caucasus. And it's a 3 for Eastern Europe, which is a failure, because it's not a 1, and a 5 for Caucasus, which is a 2, so that is also a failure. Oh, hang on. Wasn't there supposed to be 3 ops? I think I screwed that up. Okay, well, there is actually one more op to the card. Yeah, we only did 2 of them, so let's go ahead and pick one of these 2 and do that too. I'm pretty sure that doesn't change anything. So on a 1 to 3 it'll be Spain, a 4 to 6 will be Israel. That may have changed the odds of these a bit more, but okay, it's going to be in Israel. So this guy's going to plot because he's already active. No need to turn the other one face up. And we're going to go ahead and roll. He gets a 6. That doesn't succeed, so no plots are placed. Great. Nothing to slow us down. Euro-Islam. This is a playable U.S. event, so this is going to be used to plot with again. And if we follow the plot chart, we once again come to the same conclusion of a plot is going to happen in the Caucasus, because that's a hard country, and it's fair, and then we randomly pick between one of these 3. So it's only 1 this time, so we're going to pick, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here we go. We got a 4, which is Eastern Europe, so we're going to roll 2 die. First one for Eastern Europe, second one for Caucasus. Ooh, Eastern Europe has succeeded, Caucasus has failed. So Eastern Europe will get a plot. Okay. And that is it. That is the card played. So the card is discarded. It is discarded. It's in the discard pile, and we are done. Okay, let's win this thing. I'm gonna play a 3 ops card. Fatah, this one, the Pakistani offensive, and we'll do a war of ideas in Jordan. And don't get a 1. Don't get a 1. Don't get a. No, we got a 1. Is that enough? 1, 2, 3. So we have 1 plus 2 is 3. 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. This means that we place an 8 if there isn't one already, but there is already an 8 there, so that's the end of that. Gosh darn it. We just had to not get a 1, and we got a 1. You know what? What are the odds of that happening again? We're going to play another 3 and try that one more time. We need anything but a 1, and we get a 5. Okay. That's great. We do all the math. That comes out to, I believe, more than 6, and that is enough to convert the government to good governance. And if we do the math, we have a total of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 countries at good resources. The game is over. The United States has triumphed over the threat of extremist religions like jihadist Islam. And that is a solo game of Labyrinth, the War on Terror. You can see the ups and downs we experienced, the setbacks we incurred, and the spreading of jihadist principles throughout Africa and there. I have to make a quick note that this game was a lot tamer than most because the jihadists were having a pretty hard time getting to Somalia. And as a result, they were not getting as many resources as you would expect them to do in a typical game. So as such, we were able to sit back and not perform some of the more extreme options that the United States has available to them, such as performing regime changes and going directly after the power base of these jihadists. Pretty much, Afghanistan stayed Islamist through the whole game, so they were a constant -1 prestige ding to us at the end of the turn. Thankfully, though, we had some War of Idea rolls in non-Muslim countries, and when they traveled there, they thankfully came up as hard, which meant that we were able to not suffer from a negative penalty to all these War of Idea rolls we were doing in the Middle East. So, with the world behind us, we were able to push for our victory condition very, very easily. You can imagine that if they went soft, which is typically what happens because it's a 2/3 die roll when that happens, then it would have been a much harder game for us. Well, that's the end of that round. That's the end of this game. I will certainly be playing another campaign too, possibly a different scenario, or maybe the same scenario at a higher difficulty rating. The base game does come with some extra challenges you can add to yourself. For example, whenever there's different ideologies you can play with. Like, if the jihadists are coherent, then they can place more plots when they succeed with plotting, or they can be attractive. When they succeed in recruiting, they actually recruit 2 cells versus 1 cell. And possibly the most dangerous of all is potent, which is they can perform a major jihad. They only need to have 3 more cells and troops rather than 5. So it's much easier for them to win the game that way. I like that difficulty setting a lot because it makes the plot chart, that makes the chart a bit more dangerous, because they can actually move to countries where major jihad is possible and easily get that going. Okay, well, thanks a bunch for watching. Let me know what you think. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope this was educational for those interested in learning about the game. I will be posting, very likely, a second campaign quite soon. And I will decide what it will be, if it will be a different scenario, if it will be a harder scenario, and we'll just go from there. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. And this was, yet again, Let's Play of Labyrinth, The War on Terror, 2001 to question mark? Well, in this case, this was only 5 turns, so it looked like it was about 2006. So, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.